Hey everyone, Travis here on the first day of the playoffs for North America. Right now we've got Dig and TSM going on, but you know what else is happening? We've got some Challenger stuff going on as well. I don't know anything about Challenger, so KeNNy's going to carry me in this interview like crazy. Are you excited for this interview, KeNNy?
No.
For those of you that don't know, this is KeNNy, and you are on what team?
I played for it at CG. I play for it at CG.
Well, it's interesting that you say I played because it makes it sound like you don't play for them anymore.
I fixed myself and said play.
Okay. I mean, I'm just saying, are you?
Yeah.
Is there a possibility you're leaving the team? Is this like a, like a Freudian slip or whatever?
There's a possibility.
Okay. What odds would you give that possibility? Because your team is watching right now.
It just depends on, who makes LCS and who doesn't. And if there's 10 teams or not in the next season or whatnot, because 10 teams.
If you would expect to go to any LCS team, what team would it be? Like if somebody was like, "We're going to pick you up, KeNNy."
As of an offer right now, I don't want to be many top laners.
Okay.
But yeah, I think there's a few that I could replace.
Yeah.
I actually don't even prefer top lane, to be honest. It's like my fourth most played role. So
Now, X Smithy is still on XDG as well, right?
yes, he is
Where is he right now?
at home. He purposely lost us the game to go home and play Arcade.
Seems pretty BM.
It is, but we're having fun.
I guess that's fair. Now, tell me what is the Challenger event that's happening here?
It's just the playoffs to determine the top three for who's going to be playing the relegations or promotions, obviously, for Challenger scene against the bottom three of the LCS. So whoever loses both the quarterfinals and in the LCS and then loses that fifth and sixth place match is going to be the last team that's going to go against the top three teams of the Challenger scene.
And now obviously we don't know yet if it's also expanding to 10 teams and how that'll play into it. But so are you guys going to be that team that goes to play?
I think we're still going to... Well, obviously, if anyone watched the Challenger scene, we lost in the first round to Team 8, who ended up beating Coast 2-0, and we lost 2-1 with pretty close games. So I say that, I think if we were on the other side of the bracket, we would have had a better showing against, other teams like Denial and Low Pro. And I just, yeah.
Yeah, I mean I don't know what you were going to say either. That makes two of us.
Yeah.
Super exciting though.
Yeah, teammate made a final, so we're not that sad that we lost with our showing against them, especially if they win against Chris Academy and prove to everyone that they're the top seeded team for the Challenger scene.
So since you're embedded in the Challenger scene, tell me, there's some weird noises happening over there from that peanut gallery. But tell me what teams are going to make it into LCS next split. Let's say it's just 8.
If there's only 8, with the bottom 2 teams so far that we know, EG and who's the other one? Complexity. I think EG right now has a really low chance of losing. Just because I think that they have all around the top in Challenger, if they put themselves in Challenger, they have the top people in every role. They just got Helios, they have Alltech, they have Paul Belter, and I don't know about Inox, but yeah, okay, but yeah, they have Paul Belter and Alltech.
What about Crepo?
I mean, the entire split, I thought he was bad, and then at the end he started to show up. So he himself also said that I think he was gonna retire until the end. Yeah. So you have that going for them. So I think EG has a really good chance of staying in the LCS if there's only 8 teams. And I think Complexity, I don't know, but from what I've been hearing, they have a really good chance of losing to a Challenger team, a top Challenger team right now. But then again, I don't know what's happening behind, for sure. I'm just saying what I've been told. So I think Complexity can lose, and I think the people above that, whoever's going to play the 5th and 6th place match, is Chris, CLG, TSM, or Dig. It could be any one of those 4 right now. And I think those are going to be kind of hard names to replace. But then again, I honestly think any challenge, a Challenger team, that a top 3 Challenger team, could take off games from LCS people on if they're playing better that day or if the other team is playing bad that day. So I think there's always a possibility. So
All right, if it expands to 10 teams, what do you see?
I can see like everybody in the LCS staying because from what I've heard, like obviously the LCS teams that if they do get relegated, they're most likely going to be in the other tournament for the 10 teams. So I think that everybody has everybody in the LCS should be able to be in their LCS if there's 10 teams. And then the next 2 teams should be, I think we're in like the top 3 right now in the challenger scene. I'd put us above, I put us in around like the same bracket as like Team 8 and like Coast.
Okay.
And I think actually, okay, fourth, like top 4, actually, with like Team Coast, Team 8, and Chris Academy and XCG. So as long as we keep practicing and everyone else starts slacking, I think XCG has a good chance at making LCS again.
If you had to throw money down, who are the 2 challenger teams that make it in?
XCG.
That's one team. That's one team.
That's it.
We need a second team.
All right. Well, obviously from the showing in the last day with Teammate versus Coast, I think Teammate's looking really strong right now. They've had a really good like practice with the team comps that are running right now, and it's been hard for other teams to shut it down. And it's looking close if anyone's watching the TSM versus Dig game that they're running. Are they running Ziggs again? Okay, but yeah, I think Ziggs is like pretty strong right now, as the other mid laners got nerfed a bit. So I think Teammates looking strong with their comps and pick and ban.
Now, so we see Teammate and XDG then making it in.
I mean, yeah. I think if we practice and other teams start slacking, obviously that's like the big point.
What if you guys don't practice and the other teams don't start slacking?
We're gonna still win.
Okay.
2-0 every team. Or 3-0.
So you guys don't practice, they practice, and you guys still 2-0 them.
Yep. Okay. I think so.
'Cause that's kind of like some trash talk.
Sheep did it.
Yeah. Okay.
You see that Sheep post? Did you see that?
Is it the Facebook one that he made?
No, the Ask.fm.
When was this?
This was like a day or 2 ago before Teammate match.
No, I didn't see this.
Oh, wow. Okay.
What happened?
Basically, I think someone on his Ask.fm was asking how's Teammate doing because they were obviously going against them. And Sheep's response to that was, I don't really care about Teammate. All I know is that we're going to easily 2-0 them or something like that. And obviously they got 2-0, so Sheep kind of looked bad from that. So he deleted his Ask.fm.
His whole account?
I think, well, it says it deactivated, so I don't know if it deletes it or if it just like stops, I don't know about that. But yeah.
You're not sure about the technicalities behind it.
I think Sheep has the right mindset though. Like you should be able to confidently say that you're going to 2-0 every team if you actually want a chance at making taking games off against LCS teams. You want to be sure that you can win.
Now TSM and Dignitas are now 1-1 or 2 games in. People will see this interview quite possibly even after the whole match. So I'm going to have you predict who wins the whole thing, and then afterwards the comments people are going to be like, "How he got it wrong," or "Oh, he got it right." So this is your chance to look like a fool or a god.
Well, I'm like kind of a fan of TSM, so that kind of be biased. But I think that TSM has obviously practiced more.
Setting aside your fandom, who do you think is the better team? You've now seen 2 games where each one has won one. So who do you think is the better team?
From the 2 teams games just played, I think Dignitas showed that they are strong, and that they shouldn't have lost that second game in my opinion, which they ended up losing. So it's 1-1, and I think that the person who wins the next one is gonna win the next one after that. So it's gonna be a 3-1.
So who do you think wins the whole thing?
Was that the question at first?
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay, so how's it looking right now? I can't see it from here.
It's even pretty much. There's TSM has a bit of a gold lead.
Comp wise, I think TSM's gonna win this.
Okay.
So I think 3-1 TSM.
Okay. So TSM wins against Dignitas in this. Okay.
3-1 TSM.
Other than that, anything I need to know about the challenger scene or anybody that watches it? Anything that anyone out there should know about this beautiful, vibrant ecosystem just below the LCS?
I think that the challenger scene doesn't have like enough publicity and not enough like attention to it. I think that the kind of format that they have is kind of like a little weird because obviously Team 8, they lost in like, if you follow them last split or last challenger series, they lost in the round of 20, which is like the first round that you play in the challenger split against a team. Like cheese happens, you know, you don't prepare. You can't actually prepare against these teams anyways because like they just,
they're random.
yeah, it's like random. They can scrim besides you know. And well, obviously it's hard to do that for LCS, but you actually have games to watch, and you can't watch games on League except for rank 5 that could be like kind of trolling. And they lost in the round of 20, so we ended up having to go against them in the first round this time because of that. So I think if they made the round of 8, like we wouldn't have had to go against them, which would have benefited us a lot. But either way, like I think the double elim kind of bracket or format would be like better to find the top 3 teams. Like, but obviously, like for production reasons and stuff, I think that this bracket this format is kind of okay. But yeah, double elim I think is always the best.
Do you have any shout-outs, plugs, or sponsors?
Shout outs to CG for sponsoring us, especially Marshall, CG's manager, because he helped us a lot throughout. Like he's been really nice to us, and he helped us, you know, set up for everything. I think. Yeah, that's good, right?
You can check out the rest of our coverage of all things esports at ongamers.com.